Hey everybody, I'm Delicia and thanks for tuning in to my weekly top 5 cigar picks. These of course are the cigars coming out of my humidor, hopefully making their way into yours for your week of smoking. Starting with number 5, La Sirena Lancero. This has been in the lineup before. This beautiful Lancero is a box-pressed beauty, and it's a Nicaraguan puro, meaning all the tobacco used in the cigar is grown in Nicaragua. It's actually featuring in a Habano Oscuro wrapper. And with this one, you're getting simple notes of pepper, caramel, vanilla, and cedar. It's just pretty straightforward, mixed complexity in it, but a good stick, especially in this particular size. Number 4 in the lineup is the Partagas. This is the 1845 Classic. This one was launched during the 2017 IPCPR cigar show. And it's a really nice stick. It's beautiful aesthetically. Taking a closer look at it, it's featuring an Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper, Connecticut broadleaf on the binder, Nicaragua and Dominican on the filler. And with this one, you're getting a nice creamy undertone. It's a very toasty and somewhat of a nuttiness to it, all together to provide about a medium to full-bodied. Not quite full, but I'd stick it, of course, I always put everything in that medium category because to me, not a lot of them are super full-bodied. This one fits right in there on the higher end of medium, I guess you could say, but a very good smoke. Bringing us to number 3, I'm actually smoking this. This is the La Palina No. 2 in a little petite Corona. This one has gone through some new branding. I wouldn't even recognize that this is La Palina if I wouldn't have seen it there at the trade show firsthand. There's actually 2 that have this really cool retro type of fun, loud packaging, banding, fun colors. Really, it's just, it's cool. It's eye-catching. I think it's pulling a different group of eyes, I guess you could say, but definitely different than their main logo. I mean, they have a lot of variety within the La Palina line. It's definitely a cigar line that I really enjoy. In fact, I'm a huge fan. I smoke a lot of La Palinas. The last one I remember smoking, I swear the ash was like almost the entire stick. It was that well made, but a really good stick nonetheless. So this particular one is featuring, well, it's made in Honduras and it's featuring a Costa Rican wrapper, Honduran binder, Nicaraguan and Honduran on the filler. And it's actually made at Plasencia's factory in Honduras, so you know that the quality is there. You get a really nice soft pepper initially, little bits of a dry cocoa, and also a dry cedar, which is kind of underlying, but it's definitely that sauna room type of really dry type of just cedar, I guess you could say, those nice undertones, little bits of sprinkled with that cocoa mixed in, and you know, a good amount of spiciness, but it's somewhat muted. It's just more of the flavor of the peppers that you get, but really nice stick. Number 2, going out to Pulita. This is the 60th anniversary. This is made by El Artista Cigars out of the Dominican Republic. And this is a beautiful stick, aesthetically and flavor-wise, just a really nice cigar. As I mentioned, it's made in the Dominican Republic. And it's featuring a Dominican Negrito wrapper, a 98 Criollo on the binder, and then Colombian, Dominican, Nicaraguan, and Pennsylvania on the filler. With this one, you get bursts of the black pepper, some damp earth to it. You also pick up a little bit of like the old leather type of essence to it, a little bit of charred oak on it. Once in a while, you pull in a slight amount of sweet, kind of like those, like a cacao bean, almost not sweet chocolate, but just kind of like in the chocolate family, just not super sweet. But you get a little bit of that in and out with the smoke, but overall just a really good stick and beautiful, especially on that construction. It's really nice. And number 1 this week is going out to the Macanudo Inspirado. This is the black label. They had an amazing kickoff party for this line. Both their black and white on the Inspirados, both good, by the way. This particular one is a little bit bolder than the white version. This one is actually featuring a Connecticut broadleaf on the wrapper, and it's proprietary. They're doing something different as far as the way that they're harvesting the particular wrapper. It's left on the stalk a little bit longer, so it's kind of like a somewhat of an experimental type of a thing where it's their own little version of what they're doing with that wrapper. Ecuadorian Sumatra on the binder, Nicaraguan filler on that, and it's from Esteli. So again, you're getting a bolder salt and pepper on there. You get the cocoa notes. You get a little bit of coffee throughout, but you really do get a nice blast of like the black pepper, but a little bit of that saltiness too. So it's a good mixture of flavors. I enjoyed this one. Definitely benefited from sitting a little bit longer in the humidor than when I first smoked it back in July. So I've had it now sitting in there close to 6 months, and just letting it rest together, whether it was just that particular batch that I smoked that first time, needed to just sit just a tad bit longer. And now that it has, it's really coming out with some of those good flavors. I imagine after even another 6 months of it just sitting for like that full year, it's gonna really, really have those really nice flavor profiles just settled in. Sometimes that happens when you're making sticks, especially for anything coming out for the trade show, because of course they're in the factories, they're trying to make everything happen by that deadline. So again, letting it sit a little bit longer is usually beneficial. Anyways, thanks as always for tuning in. I hope you guys are having a great Sunday. I appreciate all the feedback, the likes, the comments. If you're a viewer that has not subscribed, I always appreciate those of you who do subscribe. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next week. Cheers.